Thank you for everyone. This is the time of teaching in the time of Corona. As you see, this is to talk about examples of diffusion processes occur in plant as well as in animals. Let's talk about at the first examples of diffusion processes occur in plants. As you know, plants need to absorb useful materials as they also need to excrete or to release substances out. Those needed materials to be absorbed, they are for different purposes. For example, metabolic process. And the substance to be released out, they are considered as waste products. And here we have 3 examples of processes that occur in everyday life of plant, and they are considered as diffusion process. When they are taken in, when they are happening, those processes, they are considered as diffusion. One is absorption of mineral salt. Mineral salt enters the plant through roots by diffusion. Of course, plant absorb mineral salt from soil by roots. And that process, even if mineral salt must be dissolved in water, and the process, the movement of mineral salt from soil to plant through roots, that is considered as diffusion process, as it is the movement of particles other than water. The second example, we can talk about the entering of carbon dioxide in plant through stomata, and that process is called diffusion. Of course, carbon dioxide is another particles other than water that enters the plant through stomata, through leaves, of course. The third one is oxygen. How oxygen exits the plant through stomata, that is diffusion. Oxygen is a product of photosynthesis. We'll talk about it later. And when it is produced, plant consider oxygen as waste product, and it is released out through stomata. And the process of exiting the plant, it is diffusion. We can also talk about examples of diffusion processes occur in animals. For example, we can have absorption of food nutrients in small intestine. This is done by diffusion. After digestion, food nutrients must be diffused, must be absorbed, and join the general circulatory system for different purposes. Of course, for growth, for repairing tissue, and so on. And that movement, that entering, that absorption is done by diffusion. The third example, we can say how the gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli. That one is done by diffusion. Of course, during respiration, if I can say, gaseous exchange, oxygen enter and carbon dioxide is released out. That exchange at alveolus level, it is done by diffusion process. And we have the third one, the third example, elimination of nitrogenous waste in nephrons. This is also done by diffusion. We will also talk about active transport later in a different in the coming lesson. Of course, during elimination of waste product by nephrons, some useful materials are also reabsorbed, but is done by active transport. We'll talk about it later. The fourth one is elimination of sweats. Of course, in sweats we have different components whereby we can say salts and urea, even water. The reason why we used to call sweats dilute urine. And those, because they have the same container with urine. Sweat have the same container with urine, salt, urea, and water, but they are different from their concentration. The reason why we call sweats, sometimes we call sweats dilute urine, and they are eliminated through skin cells. That the process of elimination of sweat is also called diffusion. Thank you very much. Next coming lesson must talk about examples of osmosis process occur in plant and animals. I encourage you to keep watching this video that are posted on the group teaching in the time of Corona. Thank you.